Welcome to Focus on Foundational Feet. So I like to bring this topic to class on a regular basis just because I think it's important to think about our feet. Sometimes when things are working a-okay, we kind of take them for granted and don't really honor them. So let's take some time to honor our feet and to stretch our feet. So as a culture, we tend to cram our feet in shoes for most of the day. And what it does is it takes away the flexibility and the intelligence of our feet. So sometimes we can wear arch-supported shoes, which is fine. But if we meet the arch where it is and wear those shoes all the time, we're not going to get a chance to stretch our feet. And sometimes when you don't use a muscle, it can atrophy or not work as well. So having said that, if you have any challenges with your feet where you need to wear orthotics, definitely talk to a doctor before you do these kinds of exercises. But if you can, stretch out your feet on a regular basis. So I wanted to give you an invitation to stretch out your feet. I don't know if you know this, but you have 26 bones in each of your feet. What that says anatomically is that our feet were designed to navigate uneven terrain, right? We're not meant to just like clump our feet, right? We're meant to have this intelligent connection with the floor. And when we keep our feet crammed in shoes a lot, sometimes we lose that flexibility and that intelligent connection. So the way we can encourage that intelligent connection is by working our feet, massaging our feet. So I have a couple of tools here we'll get to in a moment, but I'm going to invite you to just butterfly your legs, just to open up through the hips, just to get a little closer view of your foot. Circle with the right leg, holding the thigh if you need to, and if it feels good, you're going to bring your foot up so you can access your foot. If that doesn't feel okay, you're going to do the same motions, but just connecting with the floor. So you can lift the heels, lower the foot, and then lift the toes and lower. So up here, if your foot is up here, you can banana foot the foot, so pointing manually and flexing at the ball mound. So something to keep in mind, if I ask you to lift your toes but keep the ball mound on the floor, and you do this, that may mean that you need a little more flexibility in your feet. So something to keep in mind, spreading and in different sections. So we're going to open and close, open and close. Manually open and close your toes. If you caught my class or focus on fascia, you have a whole connective network. When you stretch it out, it actually affects stretching in other parts of the body. When you stretch out your feet in certain ways, you get more mobility in the neck, which is kind of fun to think about. So stretch out the toes. If it feels okay, you can interlace your fingers and toes mindfully, gently, if you have any challenges. And then open your toes with your fingers and then hug your fingers with your toes. And if you're on the floor, again, you can just manually move the toes. We have other things to support you if this is not comfortable. And then I'm going to invite you to just circle out the ankle. You might notice as you're circling the ankle, there may be other parts of your foot articulating, moving. So we want to really invite that one direction and then the other. And then give a little tip tap on the bottom of your feet. If you were here, you can rotate the ankle this way. I want to give options for everyone. Little tip tap. So you're now connecting to the nerve endings of your feet, stimulating that connection between your brain and your body. And then gently rock the baby out. If you're here, you can just tap the floor. So the other foot doesn't want to be left out. So let's circle out that foot or that leg. One direction and then the other. And if it's available, cross the leg and then just begin to massage the foot. If not, you're going to lift and lower and just see, can you lift the toes without while keeping the ball mound on the floor? And if not, you might want to assist yourself by giving a little supportive touch on the back of the ball mound and lift your toes. Over time, you'll get it if you're not able to do it right away. And so now we're going to stretch and flex, point and flex manually the feet and the toes at the ball mound. So under here in the arch is called your plantar fascia. If you've ever heard of something called plantar fasciitis, which I actually had once, it's an overstretching of that I think it's a ligament. It goes right into the Achilles tendon and goes all the way up and connects to the gastrocnemius, this big calf muscle. So it can get really tight, or you can overstretch it sometimes. And you can tear it just like when you're working out and you might tear a muscle. It needs time to repair. This is a denser muscle that needs more time to repair. So, so you can keep going, interlacing fingers and toes. I'm going to chat while we're loving up our feet, spreading and massaging. So the way that I was able to overcome my plantar fasciitis was I stretched out my foot before I got out of bed every morning. And actually my loving husband massaged my foot, because what happens is you're laying in bed 8 hours a night and then you go to stretch the foot when you get up again, and it almost had time to repair, and then you start moving it and re-tear it or re-overstretch it before it had a chance to fully recover. So before you get out of bed, stretch, flex, massage the foot, and oh my gosh, it was so painful, but after that, I think it took about a week or two. It went away. So you really want to stretch out that muscle, flexing the foot, love your toes, spread and lower, spread and hug. And then roll that ankle lovingly. If you're here, you can roll the ankle this way, holding the leg. And again, if you're doing this, you might notice, wow, I didn't know my foot had all those bones. Kind of fascinating when you get to know your body, right? I find sinus fascinating. And then just little love taps, stimulating the nerve endings in the bottom of the feet. Or if you're here, you can tippy tap. You can do both feet, little tap dancing. And then you're going to rock the baby out of it. So that's a really great thing to do to your feet on a regular basis to keep them nice and massaged. Obviously wash your hands after, which I will do after I'm done with this video. But that's the other thing you can do is massage your feet at the end of the night. I know sometimes if I've had a particularly challenging day, it's a really great way of grounding into your body. It's a really great way of shaking off the stress. If you've ever heard of reflexology, you have basically a map of your entire body on your foot. So, so by massaging the foot, you can release stress in other places, not only in your fascia, but in your chi and your energy, and just bring everything down. So now we get to this fun little box here. So tissues, and I have a little foot care box that I keep a lid on so the cats don't get at it. So in your little foot care box, and this is something you can keep by the TV that you can just take out when you're watching a show, and just massage your feet. So make sure you're not on a wood floor, because then you'll need a goalie. It's going to slide away from you. If you have a carpet or your yoga mat, and then push your foot into the tennis ball and massage the whole surface of your foot, into your toes, into your heels. So if you weren't able to lift your leg up, you can use this just as well. Massage, massage. Then you can graduate to one of these little 25-cent bouncy balls. I think you can still get them in the stores, right? Supermarket. That's where I got mine years ago. And then, oh, so good, just rolling. And that gets into deeper fascia. So if you have particularly tight feet, you want to start with a larger ball so that it doesn't go that deep. And then eventually you can graduate here and get into some of the deeper tissue. Speaking of tissues, take a fresh tissue and work the strength of your feet by dropping the tissue on the floor, and then pick it up and hand it to yourself, and then drop it again. Take the other foot, pick it up, hand it to yourself. Or you can pick it up, hand it to your spouse, and you can have a little lovely game of pass the tissue. If you're feeling particularly playful. Obviously you wouldn't use that tissue for anything else. You can keep it in the box if you'd like to reuse that way. And then you can graduate up to a washcloth, because it's a denser material and harder to pick up, so you can then pass around the washcloth. You would obviously want to wash it. But these are some great things you can have. Oh, when I had plantar fasciitis, a really helpful, thoughtful student gave me this massager, and that's another really good, so good. Oh, it gets into all those points there, opening everything up on the bottom of the foot. So you can keep all these things in your little foot care basket, have it by the TV. If you're on the computer a lot, you should definitely get up and move. But I know my husband has these little things called nubs. They're like this, and they have like little plastic nubbies on the end, and he keeps them on the underneath his computer. So when he's on his computer working, he can massage out his feet. So those are some things you can do to honor your foundational feet, challenging your balance, to really activate the different parts of your feet. Keeping them intelligent is another thing that you can do, which if you're interested in seeing some of my full-length classes on your foundational feet, there's a bunch of balance sequence work that we do to challenge our feet, challenge our balance. But I hope you find this helpful. If you use any of these and you find them helpful, please let us know in the comments so we can all share the wisdom. And I really thank you for watching. I really like to help people get to know their bodies better and become healthier in just little changes in your daily routine. So I hope you found this helpful, and here's to your foundational feet.